What stuff do you actually need to be a top level officiant? Whether it's your first time or your 100th time officiating, you said yes to officiating a wedding and then you had that uh-oh moment where you realized you have absolutely no idea what you're doing, or maybe you've already officiated one or two weddings and you're still wondering what actually makes someone a great wedding officiant. Like, not just someone who gets through it, but someone who gets remembered and the couple raves about. Or maybe you've officiated dozens of weddings, but you still feel like you haven't hit your stride yet. Well, here's the thing. A lot of people think that a top officiant means you gotta be hilarious up there, or naturally outgoing, or command the front, get all the attention, big, bold personality that lights up the room. And if that's not you, then it's easy to wonder, do I even belong up here doing this? Now, I've officiated hundreds of weddings. I've coached thousands of officiants through Unboring Wedding Academy all over the world. And here's what I've learned. The very best officiants, one that gets remembered, top reviews, couples rave about, they don't all have huge personalities, but they do all have 5 core qualities. The best part is that these are not innate talents. They're not personality traits. They're skills. You can learn every single one of these. So let's walk through the 5 qualities of a top wedding officiant. First up, a top officiant is organized. Now, do you need to color code your sock drawer or alphabetize your spice rack? Well, maybe, but maybe not. I don't do the sock drawer thing, but I do the spice rack thing. So maybe it's somewhere in between. That's going to be just good enough. Wherever you fall on that spectrum, you do need a clear, repeatable process for your officiating. So that means knowing exactly what you do for your couple and when you do it. So that's going to include things like when and how often you meet with your couple, what info you're going to collect from them, when you'll get the first draft of the script to them, how much control do they have over the edits. If you're a pro, when do you need payment? When do you need payments? The wedding day itself, what is that going to look like? When do you arrive? What do you do when you're on site? When you're organized, your couple feels safe and you feel calm, because you're not just making it up as you go. You're not wondering what comes next as you're putting it together, right? And if you're thinking, I don't know that I have a process, well, that's okay. You can start building one today and thinking through what it is that you do to get to wedding day and how you do it. In fact, you can use the software that I created called Efficiently, and it carries you through the whole process. So whether or not you have access to that, sit down, think through your steps and how you can explain them and articulate them to your couple so they feel safe and you feel calm. Second, a top officiant is responsive. This one is deceptively simple, but really important. When a couple reaches out to you, whether it's a new inquiry if you're a pro, or a last minute question if you're a friend or relative doing it for the first time, you want to get back to them quickly. Even if it's just, I got your message, I'll reply properly tomorrow when I get more info. That little touch builds trust with your couple, because wedding planning is so stressful. Your couple are probably juggling a dozen different wedding vendors. You're just one of them. So you're like a speck in the constellation that makes up the details of their wedding day. Now, if you are the speck who actually replies, well, that's memorable. That's professional. That is a relief to them, whether you're hired or whether you're just a friend. So yes, this applies to you even if you're only officiating one wedding for a friend or relative. Responsiveness isn't just good business, it's good friendship too. And a great officiant becomes both. If you come to their wedding just knowing them as a hired pro, they become your friend over the course of the process of working together. And if you come to their wedding just as a friend, you become professional as you develop out these 5 qualities over the course of creating their ceremony. When you're responsive, when you're organized, then you'll be all set when you get asked to officiate again for someone else. You're going to crush it. Trust me, you will. I see this all the time with people who are members of Unboring Wedding Academy, and you're learning these 5 skills. Okay, on to the third. You don't need to be a tech wizard, but you do need to be number 3. tech familiar. Okay, in 2025, couples expect to plan their wedding online or digitally. So if your process involves paper contracts or Word documents being emailed back and forth, well, that's going to feel a little bit clunky for them. So instead, lean into fresh cutting edge tools like Google Docs to share and edit scripts, making them collaborative, Google Forms to collect info, scheduling tools to book your meetings, things like Calendly, e-signatures, DocuSign, online payments, Stripe. You don't need to know everything. You just need to be willing to learn a few basics so you're not the bottleneck in the wedding planning process. And I promise, once you get the hang of these new tools, they'll make your life way easier as well. The focus is always on the couple, making their life easier. But the side effect, of course, is going to be things are going to be much easier and much better for you. So it's worth investing the time learning these things because that becomes a repeatable process for you. Maybe even if you're just doing it one time, officiating, you think you will, you're going to crush it and you're going to get asked again. But even if you just think you'll just do it once and that's it, these things, these tools, if you don't know them yet, taking the time to learn them for your couple will have a ripple effect and you can use them in other areas of your life, whatever that looks like. The fourth quality now is confidence. I don't mean fake it till you make it, motivational poster kind of confidence. I mean real confidence, the kind that comes from knowing your stuff as a wedding officiant, the ins and outs of a wedding ceremony. Confidence is going to show up in how you lead the rehearsal, how you speak at the ceremony, how you handle that moment when a groomsman forgets which pocket the rings are in legitimately, or a baby starts screaming and it's raising everybody's eyebrows. Here's the best part. Confidence is built. It's built by preparing, by writing a strong script, by practicing it, reading it over and over, by knowing your script, how to read it well. You don't have to memorize, just read it well, and having all the moving parts of the ceremony actually written into your script. Who's coming in when, what music is playing, who's standing where, so that when you show up, you're not worried. You are ready. Everything is written down. You know what needs to happen when. You don't know what's going to happen, but you know where you want to get, and you know that you just need to fall back on your great script and read that out and be yourself. You don't have to be loud, but you just have to be clear, literally, but also figuratively, as the officiant on the wedding day with your presence. And the last one, honestly, it is my favorite. It is what makes this profession so amazing, so fun. Top officiants are fascinated. Top officiants are genuinely curious about the couple, about their story, about their friends and family, about what makes this day special to them. Because when you're fascinated, you're going to ask better questions. You're going to listen more closely. You're going to spot the little details that make their story and their life together unique. And when you build a ceremony around that, that is what makes the guests laugh and cry and say, how do you know them so well? And they'll ask your couple, how do you know your officiant so well? Now, if you're a friend or relative, of course, you'll say, well, I know them for years. If you're a hired pro, it's going to be surprising when their answer is, oh, we paid them like all our other wedding vendors. So how does that magic happen? You don't need to be a storyteller by trade here. You just need to care for people and care enough to be fascinated. That's where the magic happens. And that's where the fun starts in the ceremony. And that's what's going to set you apart. That energy created by being fascinated with your couple and with their guests and the story of the wedding day itself and how we got here. So quick recap, here are the 5 qualities of a top wedding officiant: organized, responsive, tech familiar, confident, fascinated. They're in no particular order, but none of these require a certain personality. None of them depend on being naturally funny or super charismatic or energetic. They're all skills that can be learned, and they're all things that every single wedding officiant, no matter what you're like, can deploy throughout the process and on the wedding day. Now, if you're thinking, I want to have those skills, I could use some help, how do I learn those skills? That's why I built Efficiently. Efficiently is an online tool made just for wedding officiants. It's designed to help you show up with all 5 of these qualities throughout the process. You don't have to build anything from scratch. Efficiently helps you stay organized with your whole ceremony building process in one place for you to simply follow along. It helps you be responsive. All your couple's notes are going to be right there. No more hunting through emails or juggling files or sending them back and forth. It makes you look tech familiar automatically. Everything is right there in a clean, easy to use interface in a way that modern couples expect. They're going to be blown away because no one's ever seen anything like this before. It helps you be more confident because you've got a step-by-step workflow to follow with built-in templates that work. You're not second-guessing yourself at every turn. You're not inventing the process from scratch. This is done for you, and you know it's worked for thousands of people all over the world. It also keeps you fascinated with questions that you're going to capture that 3-act love story, write your couple's love story in seconds, not hours, and build your officiant speech in a way that's engaging and thoughtful and genuinely fun. So that's Efficiently, and it comes with Unboring Wedding Academy. If you want to level up how you plan and deliver ceremonies, check out the links in the description. That's it for today. Hope this was helpful. If you got any questions about the 5 qualities or Efficiently or Unboring Wedding Academy, drop them in the comments. I read everything. Always happy to help. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And until next time, marry on.